the First Communion. There were so many children making their First Communion, and they all got dressed up in their white veils and their white dresses, and that was a really big occasion. And later on, years to follow, when the school grew a little bit, the confirmation classes, the children made their confirmation. I remember Archbishop Jewig came out for the first confirmation, which was interesting and quite historic.
The most important lesson I can remember teaching happens day to day, dealing with so many girls and boys as they learn how to value themselves and how to get on with each other.
Every time I take the children to the church, whether it be for a whole school mass or for an individual class mass or buddy mass, I feel like I'm sharing with the children how special it is to be part of a Catholic school and how important Jesus is in their lives and can be in their lives, particularly during Mass.
Probably the lesson that stands out the most to me was one that had a big impact on one of my students. It was a couple of years ago teaching a Year 2 class, and I had some students that really didn't want to engage in the classes, but we were doing Roll M, and I learned, which is a maths program, and I was doing a lesson on 3D shapes. And to have this young man in my class just get so enthused about it and just gain so much self-esteem because he could do it and he wanted to show everybody else. That's my memory of a really good lesson.
To tie your shoes. Because if you never tie your shoes, then you always trip over.
Probably our book week lessons have been the ones that have been the most fun and very important to make children realise how much fun reading books are. When we would do up the library, we like to go with the theme. So sometimes we might have a fairy tale castle made of cardboard the children could climb into. Other times we had a jungle where they had to climb under tables and there were paper snakes and there was a treasure chest at the end. Another time we made this room here into an aeroplane and the children had to sit in special seats and we pushed the trolley up and they even got a snack while they watched a video that was made from the children and the teachers.
Since I became involved in Christian meditation myself in 1997, I have done it with each class that I taught, and I feel that it was very important to me, and I know some of the children have taken it because I had parents say to me how their children loved it.
One of my favourite books is Chicken Soup, and I will often read Chicken Soup for the Kids sold to my children. And when I was teaching grade 4 with Karen O'Dane, I would read one story from that book every day, and there was Sylvia was in my class at the time, and she would go home and relay the same story to her parents, and it would be a dinner discussion. And for my Christmas present at the end of the year, I received a soup mug with a chicken on it, and to this day I hold that chicken soup mug very special.
Well, my favourite unit of study ever was the medieval history unit in year 6.
Well, it's probably a lesson that never got taught, but I intended to teach. In preparation for the Fiesta 2 or 3 years back, I decided I was going to do gnocchi, which is an Italian dish based on potato, pasta and starch. And when I told my plans of this to Mrs. Shaw and Mrs. Zagani, they laughed me out of town and simply said no, it would be too hard. So my lesson on gnocchi for that particular week got cancelled, as did cooking gnocchi for the Fiesta.
When we were playing cricket with Mr. Ebsuri, I think, and I was the first one to catch his ball that he hit.
I remember this lesson once in maths. No, wait, it was science. I wasn't a bright cookie back then. And what happened was I took a thermometer in hot water and then I dumped it in freezing water, in like ice cold water, and it exploded. So
I enjoy gardening and cooking, so I used every opportunity to do some some of this with the children. I planted the Mariah hedge down near the library, and at one stage it looked like a little train because I let some of it come up. It took a bit of getting together because when some people came here at weekends to have parties and so on, I came one Monday to find a lot of them ripped out, but I wasn't going to let that beat me. So we planted some more, and I think to this day it is still a little Mariah hedge there.